Well, how do I look? I smiled, twirling in my new dress in front of my husband. We just need to buy the shoes, and we're all set for the anniversary. By the way, the restaurant called to confirm the number of guests. My husband sat with his head down. Steve, why are you so quiet? Don't you like the dress? Jessica, we need to talk, he said firmly. Such a tone usually didn't bode well. The air felt heavy and awkward. Did something happen? His response hit me like a ton of bricks. It wouldn't be fair if you heard this from someone else. I wanted to tell you after the anniversary, but to celebrate with you and then leave the next day, that would be cruel. My husband sighed deeply and looked out the window, as if seeking inspiration. I've fallen in love with another woman. She's better than you, younger, and we will have kids. The words were stuck in my throat like a lump. My chest tightened with pain. His words cut through me like a knife. At first I couldn't believe it. We'd been together for 7 years. 7 years of laughter and tears, and he suddenly leaves me for another woman with such harsh words. How could you? He shrugged as if it were something trivial. I've been planning to leave for a while. I just couldn't find the right moment to tell you. And now you found it, right before our anniversary? Tears threatened to spill, but I tried to hold on. For a while, I echoed. Steve just shrugged. His eyes, once familiar and dear, were now filled with indifference. In that moment, I understood. This was no joke. No prank where he'd laugh later and lift me in his arms. This was a true crisis. Memory served up the moment of our first meeting, a party at a mutual friend's house. I wore a red dress, holding a glass of champagne. Steve approached me. You're so bright, you stand out. I couldn't stay away. We recalled this moment countless times on quiet evenings. It was so sweet. We laughed until we cried, danced to old hits, and dreamed of the future. At first I thought it might be just a fling. But me? I felt betrayed and empty. How could you? I asked with bitterness in my voice. We had plans. But life changes, Jessica. I met Emily. She's different. Emily. The name now sounded like a sentence. I remembered how Steve once mocked my favorite TV show, where the female lead was perfect. Smart, beautiful, independent. What a fantasy, he laughed. Now he found himself in a similar fantasy with another woman. Besides, you can't have children. I want a child. We plan to adopt. You don't understand. You want it. I want my own. It's over, Jessica. I'm leaving. I'll come back for my things later. Sorry, if you can forgive. That evening, I couldn't sleep. I went over Steve's every word, every look. How could he so easily discard everything for another woman? Why didn't I notice earlier? Why her? What does she have that I don't? Thoughts spun like a whirlwind in my head. I remembered our evenings, watching TV shows on the couch, his laughter at my jokes. Was it all a lie? How could he destroy our family so easily and hurt me about the children? I didn't sleep until morning. Somehow, I pulled myself together and went to work with a heavy heart and an emptiness inside. My colleagues noticed my state, tried to ask questions. I joked it off, though I didn't feel like joking, and I still didn't know what to do about the anniversary. But my friends didn't let me fall into despair. We won't leave you alone, that's for sure. Indeed, on the day of our anniversary, my parents and friends came over with food and drinks. Natasha even brought her cat, a silver Siamese named Barsik, known for his healing abilities, among the neighbors. She thought I could use some of his magic. You know, Jessica, Natasha said over a glass of wine, think of this as a new chapter. Steve is just a step on your life's ladder. I'm not saying you should jump into a new relationship. Good men aren't easy to find. But focus on your career for now. You were the only one with a red diploma in the group. Now show everyone it was worth it. And stop being so dramatic. You've lost very little. The apartment, the car, they're yours. So what if you updated the furniture? If needed, give him half the money. Money was never an issue for you. And your parents will always support you, so don't give up. I nodded and tried to smile through my tears. When the guests left, I sat alone with Barsik, thinking about the future. My thoughts were dark and bleak. What if he's right? Maybe Emily really is better than me. But then another realization struck. Maybe he's the one who lost out. Maybe I deserve better. Natasha is right. I should immerse myself in work. I never imagined work would become my lifeline. In the following months, I worked with doubled energy, arriving first and leaving last. And you know what? It paid off. My efforts were noticed, and I was offered a promotion. Jessica, we've been watching your work for a while, and with Valeria retiring, we'd like to offer you her position as chief accountant. John, I won't let you down. We have no doubt. Show us we made the right choice. It was like a breath of fresh air. I felt strong and confident again. Meanwhile, Steve wasn't doing as well. I tried not to care, the wound was still fresh, but Natasha, ever the gossip, brought me news. Your ex is still with Emily, but he's in for a surprise. Emily's not what he thought. A friend told me she's seeing someone new. My boyfriend showed me their pictures on TikTok. Guess who's with her? That's right, it's Emily. Shurik, a young entrepreneur with bright prospects, way out of Steve's league. Looks like reality is coming for him. Emily probably didn't know the apartment and car were yours. She hoped to get a slice of your pie. Didn't work out, huh? Hey, Jessica, why don't you invite him to a party? Joked Olya. Why? To see my ex-husband suffer? I laughed. No thanks. But inside I felt a strange sense of satisfaction. I hadn't just survived the storm, I came out stronger and more confident. One evening, I was sitting on the couch with a cup of tea, watching my favorite show. A message from Steve popped up. Hey, how are you? I paused for a moment. How things had changed. Once I would have eagerly replied, full of hope. But now... Hey, I'm great. Working on new projects. I typed and hit send, feeling proud of myself. Then I blocked him. Why reopen old wounds? Everything will be fine, I thought, and opened the adoption agency's website on my phone. Sometimes life presents us with tough choices, not to break us, but to make us stronger. I learned to value myself and my achievements above all else.